Hello and welcome. Silrace here with parent info package for Skyrim. With the idea being to inform parents and guardians of children what those children may encounter playing Skyrim. Skyrim is an expansive fantasy world with its own races, and it allows you to create a character of one of those fantasy races, whether it be elves or humans. It is, however, an open world, which means you can basically go anywhere, explore any nook and cranny and corner of the world, and often do basically anything you wish within the confines of the game mechanics, obviously. That means you can wander on the roads, you can explore caves, you can even ride dragons after you tame them, and so on. Get drunk, murder innocent travelers on the roads, and also learn that your actions have consequences, because if you happen to murder somebody, well, if your murder is witnessed, you may be thrown into jail or banned from an entire hold, and so on. However, Skyrim is very much a game for those who wish to see beyond the next hill, who wish to see the next cave, what is behind the next riverbend. And for those people, Skyrim can be a joy to enjoy and play. Anybody who wants a very streamlined, quick storyline probably will not enjoy Skyrim quite as much. And this is something to understand when it comes to children as well, because it is, while the game has an overarching storyline, it is not very story driven game. The game is really based on the exploration and going off the beaten path to see places, go everywhere, see what sort of traps, trolls and monsters end up being in the next cave or over the next hill. Skyrim also has, because it is depicting a living, breathing world, it has its negative sides which may impact children as well, such as bigotry and outright racism in many cases. And there are executions happening, there are some other horrible things in the world which may be encountered, and as such, it can be scary at times, especially if one stops to think what is going on around them. And from that point of view, what can one learn playing Skyrim? First of all, actions have consequences, will show up, especially if one decides to partake in the civil war going on in Skyrim. One has to make a choice on picking a side and so on. And as such, those actions you take are even reflected in the game world itself. Of course, manual dexterity is something one learns playing video games, because actually moving around in a video game is difficult. It's something not many of us who have played video games for centuries and decades and millennia have actually stopped to think about anymore, because moving around in a video game is actually very difficult and it requires a coordination. Anybody who gets to it first time ever is going to take a while to learn how it really works. There are also other things to be learned, such as the joy of exploration, because exploring in the video game can be very much fun, just as it can be in a real world, wandering in a forest or even in the neighborhood, seeing what is behind the next, well, hill. Probably not in the next cave in the real world, but those definitely exist in the video game. One can definitely take on the whole racism and bigotry and everything else going on in Skyrim and look at it and make decisions based for one's own life. Do I want to act like this? Is it okay to act like this? And give some deep, meaningful thought to such things. And obviously, Skyrim should be taken as entertainment in the end, and one can very much be entertained by playing Skyrim. Thank you very much for watching, for listening, and hopefully this was helpful to some parent or a guardian out there considering this game for their children.